You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. Is season 3, episode 17 of Gay Rave, our second to last episode of the season, if you can believe it. I'm so happy that we're back. If you're watching on YouTube, we are back in the apartment. We are fully back in the US, and I am deeply unwell. I am so sick, and so you get my sick voice. Please bear with me. Okay, thank you very much. Have you ever just finish your period and then you start feeling kind of sick, so you're like, oh, maybe I left my tampon in and I'm getting toxic shock, so you dip a finger in just to be sure. And so that was me, but it's not toxic shock. I think it's like airplane germ cold or something like that. Virginia and Ginge were both getting a cold at the far end of our trip, like the Sorrento to Amalfi of it all. So I am grateful that I didn't have it on the trip, but I do have it now. And I will say I do have TSS tendencies, but didn't get me this time, bitch. I have TSS tendencies, meaning that I accidentally leave my tampon in way too long, and travel really does not help. You really lose track of time. But let's get into Italy a little bit. So last time that we saw each other, we had our episode in Napoli featuring Virginia and Ginge. Amazing guests. They absolutely slayed it. So after Naples, we went to Sorrento and then Amalfi. We saw Pompeii. It was a lot, obviously, on the ankle. I will say Sorrento was absolutely gorgeous, and we met these amazing gays. So we went to a lemon farm tour. It was like this family-owned lemon farm. It was so incredible. We saw all of the things that they made. It's on this beautiful mountainside. We learned about all these processes and when they harvest things and how they do it. It was very informational and very amazing. And they have generations of their family who have worked there obviously for years, and their kids work there, and they made all of the dinner from things obviously like the animals and the foods that they make there. So it was incredible. And on the drive back from this farm to Sorrento, where we got picked up, there's a bunch of young people in our van. So obviously I was using my powers of persuasion, and I got us all to go to this place called Shop Bar in Sorrento. And so we met these amazing gays. Shout out Garthik, shout out Tim. And we all went to Shop Bar and had a really nice time. We had some Long Island iced teas in Sorrento, and I felt like that was it was a spiritual experience to get a lit in the middle of Italy. It was amazing. So, what I did learn and what I wanted to share with you is something quite fascinating about UK football. So, my Brits, they did say that during UK football games, you actually can't drink alcohol while players are playing on the pitch. Did you know this? I had no idea. So, obviously, you can pregame the UK football match, and you can go and drink during halftime when players aren't playing, but you cannot bring a drink to your seat. And they said it's probably because all the times that people be throwing beers at players and stuff. But I had no idea. And it's a law back from 1985. This has existed. They're like, you cannot be drinking while play is happening. I had no idea. Okay, so that's something that I learned that now all of you know. Okay, fun fact alert. So at this bar, Shab Bar in Sorrento, it was quite the vibe. Things were pretty cheap. They had these things called life-saving shots, and so they had each one a Moderna, a Pfizer, a Johnson and Johnson. I thought that was very cheeky, very cute. But what they did in the dancing portion, they had an iPad just on the wall with Spotify Premium open, and anyone could go and search and play a song and change the cue and change the song. And I find that it was just a social experiment because it was Italy is out here doing the Stanford prison experiment in real time based on perceived coolness. People were blockading the iPad. People were forming coalitions and coups on the person and changing the cue. I thought it was fascinating. I think that every bar should do this instead of having a touch tunes where people have to pay and you could usurp other people using money. I think that you should just have it be free and then have them all fight to the death about the songs that they want. And it almost got into physical altercations, but everyone was having too nice of a time. And I did queue up a bunch of songs, and then people kept skipping them, which was depressing. But they were bangers, obviously. I would never put on a non-banger. Don't even get me started. Moving on. Then we also got lost trying to find the train to Pompeii. That almost broke our spirits, but don't worry, it didn't. And I will have to say that, like, as a person with a really fucked up ankle, as you might recall from my Italian ER trip, the fully excavated rock place was not the best for healing. It really wasn't. But Pompeii, fascinating. Thank God we got there for an 11 a.m. tour, and it lasted 2 hours in the blazing sun. I felt like a true Pompeian. And as I mentioned last time, running water, wheels, like incredibly civilized society. Um, Virginia did barf on the boat to Amalfi, I think it was. Yep. So Virginia and Ginge both have a seasickness thing, which I think I sort of knew based on the plane experience. But we also not only were taking a boat to Amalfi, but we have on the way back to leave a 3 hour boat ride back to Naples because we had to do the whole journey in reverse. So a little worrying, but yes, yeah, Virginia did barf into a trash can, but the lid wouldn't come off, so she had to like stick her head into a little trash can hole to do a cute little dainty gag. And that, I say, I'm so sorry. Okay. Last stop on the trip, Amalfi, obviously gorgeous. Once again, very inaccessible, lot of stairs, essentially only stairs. Amalfi, quite small though, like itself. So one of the days we were in Amalfi, we were like, okay, we want to go to a beach club. We want to spend time and just like be in the sun and be in the Mediterranean and be photosynthesizing. So we decided to go to this place called Ravello Beach. Ravello is just another town. So we were like, okay, you can get there by this bus. We'll just take this bus. We got up, like, we were truly like, we were in the nines. We were excited for this beach day. All right. So we figure out the bus stop. I take us to this bus stop. And they were like, I don't know. I think you get on over there where all those people are, where the big lines are. And I was like, I don't know. Google Maps says it's here. Bus blows right by us. and, and now, in hindsight, it was because the bus was full, because that line, the alleged line that everyone was in, was to get on the bus to Ravello. So finally, we get in line, bus 20, 30 minutes out. Now we're waiting. And all, once again, blazing hot sun in a line full of people. We have to figure out how to pay for this bus because that was really unclear at the time. Couldn't figure out how much money it was. There were no fares. There was no schedule. Very shocking. Okay. So we finally, after 30 minutes of waiting there, we get on this bus to Ravello. It is packed. We almost don't make it. We like fight to get on our way. Virginia's like truly scolding old men. Like, if it's so important to you, sir, please, my friends need to get on. Okay. She downloads a whole ass app for us to get on this bus. We are the last two people on. Okay. Somebody also saw that I was like losing my group and she let me in front of her and she didn't get on. She sacrificed herself for me. I felt like she was truly Katniss volunteering as tribute. We pulled away and I was like literally giving her the hand, like, no. So we get on this bus. Our stop, like 2 stops in, it's like a 3-minute ride to Ravello. So we're like, oh, this is perfect. Okay. So we're getting close. You know, we're pulling up the map. We are jam packed. And Gin's just like 4'11". So she's like 2 hands up holding both bars on opposite sides of the bus, truly doing everything that she can to stay stable. But her poor little legs. Oh my God, this poor woman. One of the funniest experiences just watching her do that. So we're getting close. We press the little stop requested button. We see the little stop come in the bus driver's line of sight, indicating that someone pressed the stop button. What the bus does not do is stop. So the bus continues, does not make one single stop on the way to Ravello. Ravello, which is, I want to call it a 30-minute bus ride up to the top of a mountain. So now we take a 30-minute bus ride, standing, Ginge fighting for her life, trying to stay stable. And we are in Ravello and sort of like, okay, what do we do? We've never been further from the ocean. We were trying to go to a beach day. We're in beach attire. I'm in my Crocs. We're on the top of a mountain. We're like, okay, what do we do? We could take a bus back down, and then we still are not at the beach club. We're still not there. Okay. So Virginia finds a walking path. She's like, okay, it's like probably mile and a half. It's going to take us like 30 minutes. We could walk it. We say, yes, sure, fine. So we decide to do it. We walk about, mile and a half down to the beach. A lot of stairs, a lot of roads, very thin roads with fast cars. And ultimately we did fight and do so much effort to get on that bus that was ultimately wrong. And I find that it was very sweet. And I think what I've learned from this trip mostly is that the hijinks are the point. Like they are the point of the trip. And going into this, I was really anxious. And I think the reason why I haven't done more like international travel or even on my own is because I have this fear that I'm going to get there and I'm going to be totally incompetent and be incapable of doing anything. And everyone's going to think I'm just a stupid American who doesn't know the language and doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm going to be embarrassed. And that is always going to be true. Like those things are going to happen, but the point is that you try and you do your best and you deal with the hijinks, and that's what makes it fun and interesting. Like going to the Italian ER and like missing the Pompeii train and like taking this fucking bus to Ravello and then walking the mile down. I do think that's the point. And so if the goal is experience, you always win. And therefore, Italy, huge success. Shout out to Ginger, Virginia, my number one ravers. Because honestly, I think that we did a really good job. I think that we did a very good job. We've known each other for like almost 20 years. We have grown and changed quite a bit, but I think we've figured out like how to work together as who and how we are now. And I think that we did a pretty good job. And I do appreciate them very much because they are people who are planful. So they'll look things up and they'll look up the trains and they'll buy the tickets and they'll look at the best restaurants. And that is not my truth. It's not my personhood. It is not my strength. And so I want to say thank you to them for that. And the way that they, without even a second thought, when I hurt my ankle and I was like in so much pain, Virginia took an Uber to a pharmacy like 20 minutes away and made them sit outside while she went in and got me a wrap and 600 milligram ibuprofen and this gel cream to put on it. So that way she could come right back and help me. And Ginge looked up the wheelchair rental place and they pushed me around the fucking Vatican Museum and the Vatican with a smile on their face. They didn't complain and they didn't make me think about it. And I had therapy today, obviously, if you can't tell, but it really made me feel like so taken care of and so grateful. I feel like the only other people in this world who would do that in that way would be like my immediate family. Like my mother and my sister would definitely treat me that way. And when this happened and they both sort of jumped into action and I didn't have to think about a thing, it showed me so much like love and care and thoughtfulness. And so I just want to say thank you to them. And like, what a amazing and funny experience. So shout out. Now let's get into some actual gay shit other than my fucking gay diatribe about how much I like my friends. Okay. So, current events actually. New York Liberty won game one of the playoffs against the Phoenix Mercury on Sunday. Thank fuck. It went to overtime and we actually pulled it out. If Brianna Stewart is injured, oh my God, I will be so upset, but that's okay. The New York Liberty are playing game two at Barclays on Wednesday. I will be there. I absolutely cannot wait. If they win game two, then we move on to round two of the playoffs. So everyone, cross your fingers, cross your toes, call the Etsy witches that put the curse on Charlie Kirk, whatever you have to do to make them win. That would be incredible. Okay, moving on. The Emmys were Sunday night, and there was a lot of gay winners. I want to shout out to our gay winners from Severance. We have Tramell Tillman, who became the first gay black man to win for Best Supporting Actor in a Drama. Shout out, shout out. The woman from Adolescence, Erin Doherty. She won the Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. And she thanked her girlfriend Sinead on stage. I clocked her tea. Okay, kind of gorge too. And Jeff Hiller, gay, thanked his husband. He won Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for Somebody Somewhere, which I do think I might give a try. Tell me if you liked it. And of course, our king, Alan Cumming, for Traitors, obviously. So shout out to our gay Emmy winners. Speaking of awards, VMAs, okay, Ariana Grande did thank gay people in her acceptance speech. Okay, so that means something. That's our own way of protesting. Arianka, she knows that November date is coming up. She knows that she needs our support. We are going to buy your tickets anyway, babe, but I will now buy an extra. I'll go see a second in theaters for you. And I think that she broke up with the SpongeBob guy. So extra shout out to Arianka. Moving on. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter's VMA performance of Tears also where she had all these amazing queens and ballroom legends. Like Lexi Love was on there, Laganja was there, Simone, Willem, and she had a bunch of like ball performers too, like Honey. I think the other person's name. Hold on, let me push the person's name. Malik Bryan and Honey Balenciaga were there. Oh, and Denali was also one of the queens. So shout out Sabrina Carpenter for putting on. Okay, moving on. A federal judge ruled in favor of an Ohio man seeking to have the word gay in his license plate. That's a win. We'll take that in light of all the horrors. Okay, so there's a man who on National Coming Out Day, October 11th, applied for a license plate reading gay in Ohio through the DMV, right? And he wanted to express a central part of his identity, and therefore he applied for it. The license plate was rejected, and they said that it was inappropriate or invalid. And so, what did our King William do? You know what else he tried when gay was unaccepted? He tried queer and homo, also rejected. Lesbian, also rejected. You know what wasn't rejected? Straight, STR8. Okay. And you know what wasn't rejected? No gays. The letters NOGAY, no gays. Do we know what wasn't rejected? No homos. And the last thing that was available as well, no fags. Oh my fucking God. The way that they are actually so cooked is crazy. How are you going to say that gay is inappropriate, but no homos? Oh my God. Ohio, I was not familiar with your game. I'm going to be so honest. Even lesbian. Damn, I thought we had some goodwill with y'all, but I guess not. After all the businesses I've been giving Ohio, the NCAA championship, Fiona and Fritz the Hippos. Oh my God. I thought that we had something. I guess not. But he won his case, and they said that they need to let him have gay on his license plate to express a part of his identity. And so, therefore, happy for you, William. Godspeed. Go off, Ohioans. Next current event, Chloe Grace Moretz is married to a lady. Another semi-famous actress married to a woman, gay, lesbian. I don't know. She's one of those letters, but I am so happy for her. What was she in? Was she in Bridge to Terabithia? Because that movie really hit. Hold on, let me look at her discography here. This Advil that I took is working so much overtime. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, yeah. Okay, so she married her wife, Kate Harrison. Oh, they got married on Labor Day weekend. She's 28 years old. Oh, so sweet. I do not know any of these movies. I've never seen any of these movies in my life. Kick-Ass? Maybe? She's definitely not in Bridge to Terabithia. That is my bad. I've genuinely never heard of these movies. I'm so sorry to this woman. But I'm happy for her and her wife. Okay? Happy for you, Chloe. Last but not least, current events. Overcompensating season 2 has just been signed on by Amazon. So happy that I watched just in time for it to be re-signed. So thrilled. Happy for you, Benito. And the entire cast will be looking forward to season 2. Can't wait to see what happens. Season 1 really ended in a very amazing and very interesting way. Okay. Can't wait to see them close those loops. Moving on. Speaking of Amazon, rave review, first rave review. I thought my Aura ring was broken because I dropped it off of the 4th floor balcony in Sorrento, which I did do because I went outside trying to be cute. I took it off and I put it on a table. And then I went to go put my foot up because my ankle, remember, very, very injured. And then it fell off the table and down 4 flights. And then I had to go down the 4 flights and tell the woman that I needed a key to the 1st floor balcony so that I could get it. And then she had to send a bunch of texts, and then she didn't speak English. So I had to write her a message on Google Translate. She had to go get a bunch of keys, take me out there. And then when we found her, she said, "Oh, amazing." Oh, I was like, yes, it is amazing. So it was not broken from falling those 4 stories in Sorrento. It was actually a battery issue. So when I hit up their customer service and said, "Hey, my shit's not working," they said, "Oh, your series actually has a battery defect and we'll send you a new one for free." Okay, so I have a new one in the mail right now, which is amazing. But also, fuck you, Amazon, for not telling me and sending me one sooner and making me think that it was my own fault just because I dropped it down 4 flights and been using it in the ocean every single day, busting it up. It's not my fault. Okay, moving on. Next rave review, being gone for like 10 days and then coming back and having it be like crispy fall weather is kind of slaying. Like it's sunny and warm, but crisp. But I don't like how the days are getting a little bit shorter. But fall menus are back. Pumpkin is back. There is nothing like going on a trip to Target in the fall. You know that I'm about to go to Trader Joe's, gonna get a teeny tiny pie, gonna get one of those little fucking maple cookies, gonna do everything that it is to celebrate the fall while we have it for these essentially 2 weeks before it becomes winter. Okay, it's not jacket season, but it's not short season either. This is when I thrive. And as a Libra, this means what? Birthday's coming up, right? Okay, moving on. Also, rave review. I, as you know, have moved into a new apartment recently. And so I want to give a shout out to the New York City Bar Legal Referral Service because I've been using them multiple times recently. The New York City Bar website has a referral link where you can request sort of legal advice for $35 or for free based on what exactly they're advising you on. But you can even get on a phone call with somebody and tell them your legal issue, and they will give you advice. Then you pay $35 and then you get to move on with your life. But I've had questions from my former landlord and I've been calling them up the fucking wazoo asking these questions, and it's been incredible. So if you're ever like, I need to talk to a lawyer or I need legal advice, but I don't know where to go and I don't know a lawyer, girls, just call the NYC Bar Legal Referral Service. I will put a link in the show notes, but it genuinely has been so helpful to me. And I actually know other people who have used it too. Shout out to Soli. And I just want to spread the good word. So if you're ever in need and you just don't know what to do, absolutely call them. Okay. Moving on. Grave reviews. First of all, the way that the metric system was beating my ass should be studied. I don't know why America has done this. Temperatures and distances, ounces, everything. We're fucked. Okay. In Italy, they were like, oh, this is probably 2.5 kilometers. And of course, I'm sitting here doing this. Okay, 2.5 kilometers. A 5K is 3.1 miles. If it's 2.5, it's half. And okay, so it's 1.55. Okay, so, right, so I'm doing like full on like algebraic math. X equals, trying to get to that. So that first grade review, why are we fucked? Let's just, after all the things, all of the British imperialism, okay, we couldn't just accept the metric system so we could all be speaking the same language. No, we just had to be different, right? But that's not what my point is. My point is, like, why are boats measured in feet? Why are boats measured in feet? I just find that so fascinating. And I don't know. Like, I can't eyeball a boat and say, oh, that's approximately like a 30-foot boat or 30-foot yacht or whatever. Like, when I'm looking at these, like a catamaran is anywhere from like 32 to 47 feet. And of course, if you're me, you're like, okay, well, I know I'm approximately 5'10". How many of me is that? So then I'm doing that math. I'm like, okay, that's like six or seven of me long. And then I'm like, that's not enough for a catamaran? 6 or 7 of me? Catamarans are definitely larger than that. So it just doesn't fully make sense to me. I don't get why they're measured in feet. First of all, I find that to be kind of crazy. Second of all, boats are not that large. Boats are not that long. An average sailboat is like 20 feet. You know how many of me that is? It's crazy. It's less than 4. I find that shocking. All right. So grave review. Why are we measuring things in feet? And why aren't we on the metric system? Okay. Moving on. Also, watch Joker 2 on the plane home. Plane ride home, almost 9 hours, almost killed me. So I watched Joker 2 because I was like, I will never, ever, ever, ever go out of my way to watch this movie. Even if it's on TV, I won't watch it because the commercials are going to make it like 5 hours long. So I had seen Joker 1 with my first ex-girlfriend in New York, like, what, six years ago. And it wasn't like my favorite movie. It was pretty weird. It was definitely different than I expected. Kind of traumatizing. So I was like, okay, let me do it. It seemed pretty meta, like very like there's a split personality portion, like there's split personality accusations, and there's part of it which is like a dream state. And Harley Quinn is being called Lee. But I will tell you, there is more singing and dancing than you could ever imagine. Think about how much what percentage of the movie you believe the Joker himself or any character is singing or dancing? Double it. Double the singing and dancing budget in Joker 2. Triple it, in fact. There is more than you would ever expect. I was genuinely shocked. This must be not how people felt when they went to go see Wonka and they heard Timothée Chalamet on their screen fucking singing and dancing with the Oompa Loompas, okay? And one of the Oompa Loompas was the guy from, what's that movie? Music and Lyrics? I don't know. Actors are hard, okay? And he fully dies at the end? Like the Joker just dies at the end? I don't know. I feel like I'm not highbrow enough to understand it. But then I watched Juror number 2 and I really liked it. So now I'm fine with it. Total redemption. Moving on. Can I say something? Etsy witches. They are shutting this shit down. And I have been on this wave, okay? I have been saying that Etsy witches are those bitches. They are the way to go. They cast a spell and then Charlie Kirk fully died. Not that I support spells for death, because I'm pretty sure that's illegal, according to the Genie and Fairly Odd Parent rules of wishing or of witchcraft. Like you can't ask for death or love or something like that. At least that was a Fairly Odd Parent rule, and I'm pretty sure they said this in Aladdin with the Genie as well. And so I'm surprised that witches were able to do sort of like a death spell. I thought that was against the rules, especially on Etsy, a very ethical platform. Imagine when they found out. Imagine you're the person who like paid the $4 to do this. And then he actually dies. Like imagine when they found out that their power is actually unmatched. I need them to drop the link. That's what I need. I just need them to drop the link and tell me like, I just want to know who it was. What are their ratings like? What else have they accomplished prior to this? Can they do something for weather? Can they do something for luck? I have a lot of questions. And, you know, after seeing all this like religious imagery and like going to the Vatican, these concepts that go back like thousands of years and like the inception of religion, I am moved but ultimately not convinced. Alas, I do believe there's some sort of energy and the moon and the stars objectively affect our world. Like, bro, you're going to fucking tell me that the moon and the stars don't affect us? Okay, talk to the fucking tides. All right? How are you going to argue with me that when I'm born, it doesn't make me different from someone born on like Christmas? The days are shorter. It's holiday season. Everyone's stressed out. I'm born September 24th. Everyone's fucking chilling. It's back to school time. Let's go get some apple cider. Let's go pick some apples, right? Everyone's enjoying their life. The temperature's amazing. Although people who gave birth had to be pregnant all summer. That's not my business. That wasn't me. All right? Cut it out. Cut it out. Planets, timing, those all affect everything. I will not be told. All right? So, can I say something? Etsy witches are bad bitches. I do think that they did break the laws of wishing or witching. And so, therefore, I will say that's something we have to look into. But planets, tides, sun and moons, I'm with it. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this week. Is to all of my Zodiac bitches. Speaking of the motherfucking Zodiac, the New York Times just put out an article that said that your Zodiac sign is out of date. They said that the Zodiac, the 12 Zodiac signs are actually based on like 2,000 years ago data about the sun's placement in accordance with all of the different signs, and that there actually should be 13 signs. So they're like adding one because like Ophiuchus or whatever from Greek mythology. And so they said that if you put in your birthday, you can see where your sign is in relation to the sun now versus 2,000 years ago. So you can go in, and I'll put the link in the show notes, and put your birthday in and see like what sign it says you are now. And so I did it, of course. Hello. So I put my birthday in September 24th, and it said instead of a Libra, I'm actually a Virgo. And I said, okay, no shit. I'm already practically a Virgo. I'm the first day of Libra. I already say like I'm a cusp anyway. So this is not all that different. Like, babe, I could have gotten there with my TikTok tarot readers, all right? They are all the ways on my motherfucking For You page, and they are knocking on those decks. This is your reading for this date. If you're seeing this on this date, this reading is for you. No comments, no tags, no hashtags, no anything. This was meant for you. If you found this, it's meant for you. And I always go, claim. I don't know. I feel like they have a skill. So essentially what they're saying is that there's a 13th zodiac sign. It's the Ophiuchus or whatever. And they're saying that would belong between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So I think that you should do it. I think that we need to talk about this because this is seriously going to change the girlies. Scary if true. Okay, so I'm sorry to you. Song of the week. Song of the week is Nice to Each Other by Olivia Dean. A very good song. And mostly because Virginia used that song in one of her stories last week. And then she has this thing that I also have, which is when you post, you watch it back 1,000 fucking times. So I have heard this one clip, If I Go to Italy. So I've heard this one part of the song Nice to Each Other by Olivia Dean 1,000 fucking times because I've been listening to her rewatch her own story. And so now I have to download it and listen to it because I like it now. So shout out you, Verge. Love you mucho. All right, everybody. Only one episode left in the season, and that is going to be coming out the day before my birthday next week. Until then, have a great week. I've missed you so much. I'm happy to be back. Thank you for bearing with me and this voice. That fucking ibuprofen kicked in, and now I'm fucking locked in. All right? I will see you next week. This has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for Say It With Me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.